Dear Ramen Spot recommender, I'm a 16-year-old gamer. I like to call myself a gamer because I love playing all kinds of games, but lately I have noticed that I really only play the games my friends play. It's always Call of Duty or Apex or Doom, stuff like that. Just shooters mostly, with occasionally some 2K in there somewhere. I want to try out the kinds of games, but I don't know what I would like, and I don't know where to start. Help?
Welcome back to the Ramen Spot, where today we're going to help my mans out here with some games that will hopefully get him interested in something outside of the mainstream. This request actually came from a family member of mine who I gave my PS4 to when I upgraded to PS5, so I know that's the platform that he plays on. He's a great kid, smart, and he loves a great story like I do, so yes, we'd be happy to help you out with a variety of 5 PlayStation 4 recommendations that we think you'll love like we do, and will help get you interested in many other genres of great games that are all out there waiting for you to experience.
2 quick things before we get started. First, we are doing a giveaway for a digital copy of God of War Ragnarok on PS5. To win, all you have to do is watch, because in one of the next few videos, we will post this picture with the code scratched off, and the first person to redeem it, the game is yours. Thank you to our friend Sarah for the donation to the channel. And lastly, if you or someone you know is in need of a gaming recommendation, let us know, we got you. Now, onto the recommendations, and up first is...
So the first thing you're going to have to get over if you want to be able to appreciate the wide variety of great games that are out there is prejudging games based on what a game looks like. To some people, especially ones who've been playing mostly self-serious military shooters, you see a game like this and you think silly or for kids, but not at all. Sackboy is for everybody. The platformer as a genre isn't as popular as it used to be, this is true, but since when has popularity ever been a good way to judge how good something actually is? The fact is that this type of game is one of the ones that is easy for people of all ages and all skill levels to pick up and play. And you have a big family plus lots of friends. Sackboy lets you play with up to 4 people at a time, playing through loads of fun levels with interesting puzzles to solve and enemies to fight, with none of it being too much of a challenge. In fact, the game will probably remind you a lot of the Skylanders games I used to buy you back in the day, and you had so much fun playing with your cousins and me. It has beautiful graphics and a good story, along with some secret surprise levels that I'm not going to spoil for you here. It's pretty much guaranteed to leave you with a smile on your face. Just try it out and thank me later. When you're done with the bright colors and happy vibes of Sackboy and are looking for something a little more like what you're used to, let me introduce you to one of my personal favorites, the Horizon series. Both of the games are on PS4, and admittedly the second game is a big improvement over the first, but I know you, and I know that you can appreciate when a story is well told and has a lot of heart, so I'm telling you, start with the first game. Horizon Zero Dawn is a story of Aloy, a curious young girl who was raised an outcast of her tribe and rightfully wants to know why. Most of us can relate to being outcasted, and Aloy is determined not to let anything stop her from getting answers. She grows into a skilled hunter in order to prove her worth, but more importantly, she doesn't let the politics of the world she lives in stop her from doing what she knows is right. That's something else I know you and Aloy have in common, and why I think you would truly appreciate the journey she takes in this game and how she's able to literally change the world while doing so. The Horizon series became my favorite games of all time this year after I finished the second game, and I really think you'll enjoy this story as much as I do. And on top of that, you get some of the most beautiful art you will ever find in any game, anywhere. And although it doesn't feature guns, that doesn't mean it isn't action-packed. You're gonna love taking down huge robot dinosaurs with a variety of primitive weapons. It's so good. Soloing a mechanized cobra with a stick will put some hair on your chest, ain't that right, Fox?
What?
See, she knows. Trust me, the Horizon games are something special. Next, we're gonna take a complete 180 and showcase a beautiful JRPG that proves fantasy doesn't have to be grim and dark to be good. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom is the sequel to a PS3 classic that perfectly combined a traditional Pokemon-type role-playing game with a beautiful Studio Ghibli anime. I loved that game, like most of the people that played it, but despite how good it is, by the time I finished Ni no Kuni 2, I became convinced that the less popular sequel is actually even better. You see, Revenant Kingdom may not use the Studio Ghibli name or have a real Ghibli anime to tell most of its story, but the creators behind that first game, the art directors and animators and composers, they almost all returned for this sequel. And instead of doing the obvious thing and just continuing with more of the same Pokemon monster type catching gameplay of the first game, this sequel is completely different. You play as a young king named Evan who loses his own kingdom, but in order to protect his people, he does what any good king would do and tries to build a new one. You will meet great characters and advisors along the way who will help you, plus you will have the aid of these little elemental creatures called Higgledies. With all of this help, you will travel all over the world, battling evil and forging alliances with other nations. And with all of these allies, your own nation grows from being just a few dedicated followers on an empty field to a true fantasy kingdom. Like most JRPGs, this game takes a while to grow on you. You need to give it more time than you would think in order for you to adjust to the unique battle system and the strange way the game tells its story. But believe me, if you give this game your time, you will be rewarded with a great experience you won't soon forget. And now we're going to pivot hard again to a type of game I know you've never tried, strategy RPGs. Marvel's Midnight Suns is going to combine a bunch of things you love in a way that you don't expect. You see, this game is about the more supernatural side of the Marvel story, the spooky, magical side that you don't see explored much in the movies, for example. Characters like the young runaway witch Nico Minoru and portal-ripping demon child Ilyana Rasputin may be new to you, but the game eases you in with a bunch of characters you definitely know, including the Daywalker himself, Blade, and the heavy hitters everyone knows, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the Avengers. The combat in this game is a card-based and turn-based strategy system that is unlikely to be like anything you've ever played before. But Midnight Suns does a great job easing you in and showing you the ropes. You'll soon be discovering for yourself what the strengths and weaknesses of each hero are, and you'll be using their abilities in unique ways and in different combinations in order to take down multiple tough challenges. And in between fights, you'll discover a whole other game of taking these wildly diverse heroes who spend almost as much time fighting with each other as they do fighting the enemy, and you'll cultivate real relationships with them. Through that trust that you spend real time and effort building, these heroes will begin to find ways to trust each other, and that's when the true power of your team really comes together. A lot of people love Marvel characters for a lot of different reasons, but for me, the reason why I followed Marvel comics since I was younger than you was because of the relationships between these characters. This is the one game where the moment-to-moment fun of beating up bad guys with the best superheroes in the business is balanced by the important task of helping each to deal with the personal turmoil that comes with that. A lot of people will overlook how good this part of the game truly is, but I know you will give it the attention it deserves, and you'll find a ton to love about this game when you do. And lastly, we're going to calm things down with a real vibe. Like the rest of the games we recommend here, you're not going to be shooting your way through underwater adventure Abzu. In fact, there's no combat at all. There's a beautiful story, but it will be told to you without any words. If this complete lack of anything familiar causes you anxiety, just trust in the fact that millions of people have given Abzu a try and have come out the other side astounded by the beauty this game will display to you from beginning to end. See something interesting? Explore it. The schools of colorful marine life seem like they're trying to lead you somewhere? Follow. Turn up the gorgeous music and just go along for the ride the game will take you on. There's no way you'll be disappointed.
And that's the list. I hope you love these games as much as we do, but more than anything, I hope you'll be open to trying great new games in the future. I know you laughed when Trophy told you that Life is Strange was awesome, but he was telling you the truth. It's a great game if you give it a chance. So are all the rest of these. And be on the lookout because we are also sending a year's worth of PS Plus at the highest tier. You're doing great in school and we love you. As for the rest of you, if you need any recommendations, talk to us down in the comments below. We'd love to help you out. See you next time!